All right, here we are with the tools, tips, and tricks from Lay Lake. Finished up the Bassmaster Elite Series there. First of all, congratulations to Will Davis Jr. Big congratulations. 2-ounce win over Brandon Polinick, good friend. He almost won his 7th blue trophy, but little Will, as they used to call him, Will Davis, he got his first blue trophy on his home lake there at Lay Lake. Way to go, Will. I've known his dad, William, for a long, long time. Good people. But let's talk about what happened for me at Lay Lake. Groundhog Day, just missed the cut again. Caught some fish. It was that time of year when junk fishing really plays a part. So I have 3 major players for where I caught, the way I caught the majority of my fish. Had a limit the first day that weighed 9.7. Second day had a limit that weighed 11.14, a little more weight. If I'd had 11.14 the first day, it would be a little bit closer. But I finished 58th. I just missed about 8 places to make the third day cut. The first day, during practice, I'd been able to get 2 to 3 decent bites each morning on that shad spawn deal. Shad responded around, shallow rocks, willow grass, the normal places that the shad spawn. And each morning I was getting a few bites in practice. So the first morning of the tournament, I thought I'll go to this area where I'd gotten a few bites and, just put the trolling motor down, try to catch one. I had 3 bites, never hooked up with any of them. 2 were on a frog, 1 was on a buzz bait. Just never, they just didn't grab it. They just didn't grab the bait. And that was a little bit frustrating because I never had a keeper the first day until 10:50 in the morning. So we took off at 6:30, and for the first 4+ hours, I never had a fish. I finally put that first fish in the boat the first day, and that first day, the main deal was running upriver and fishing current along the bank and throwing a Missile Baits baby D-bomb and dill pickle. Had a 3/8 ounce tungsten weight, a bobber stop just above it, which you can see, 3/0 Gamakatsu heavy cover worm hook. Had that on 20-pound Sunline shooter. This is a Sunline shooter 25, which I'll show you in a minute, that I was using. And had my trusty new Daiwa Zillion SVTW and high speed, 8.5-to-1, real high speed, Cashin Icon 7.6 medium heavy flipping stick. Love that combo right there. Caught a ton of fish on that, but I was just trying to put some fish in the boat. Man, I was really mixing it up, trying all kind of different stuff. I was throwing everything from frogs, swim jigs, buzz baits, ploppers, D-bombs, baby D-bombs, all kind of different stuff. But I put a couple fish in the boat with that, and it was just a grind up there in that current. They really weren't biting very well, and they weren't very big. A lot of times when you're getting decent bites periodically, you can kind of stick with it. But in practice, I had a few decent bites in, doing the current deal, flipping that D-bomb and baby D-bomb. But in the tournament, the first few were kind of small, but I didn't really have a lot of confidence in anything else. So I just really kind of stuck with it and ended up bumping up to the D-bomb and dill pickle with a 1/2 ounce weight and 25-pound Sunline shooter. That's what I was showing you earlier. That's what I was doing, 20 on the baby D-bomb, 25 shooter on the big one. I don't recommend flipping anything else, man. That's just amazing line. I mean, you look at the people that are throwing it on tour. It's basically the best of the best. Same Daiwa reel, the SVTW in 8.5-to-1, and then Cashin Icon flipping stick 7.6 heavy action for the bigger D-bomb, 1/2 ounce weight. You really can put some wood to them. You need to move them in that current when they do bite it. But that I put a couple fish in the boat, so I ended up catching a limit, but it was small, maybe 7 pounds, somewhere in that range. And I thought I had about an hour and a half of fishing. I said, you know what, I'm gonna make a change up. I'm gonna go to this shallow creek and kind of go for some largemouth. I saw some fish in that shallow creek. I didn't catch them, but I saw them. and I ran back down, went into that shallow creek. Water's pretty clear. At the time, we had a little overcast skies, a little bit of wind. I thought, man, it's perfect for a river to sea whopper plopper. So I was throwing, I don't know, I'm not sure which color this is, maybe mullet or something like that. It's got a little clear insert. I really like it in clear water. I changed out the back treble hook to the Gamakatsu G-Finesse feathered treble hook, a number 3 Gamakatsu round bend right there. And then the key to it is 50-pound Sunline X plasma braid. That braid casts amazing. I'm talking like, it's so good. It's so good. I mean, I love it for spinning and bait casting, that same line. Not the 50, but the line in various sizes. And I put that on a Cashin Icon 7.3 medium heavy, same rod I Carolina rig with and do a bunch of other stuff. Had it on that. I really like that. It's got a little soft tip, but it's got plenty of backbone to heave it out there. You can make a real accurate cast. And then I had it on the Daiwa Zillion HD, the 7.3-1. It's got that bigger handle, but it's got a lot deeper spool than the SV. The SV spool is real shallow, so you really can cast off all of the line. If you put 50-pound braid on the whole thing, you can cast every single bit of it off. But this one, now that I've kind of gotten it dialed in from a setting standpoint, you can, I mean, absolutely heave that thing right there. So I went into that creek. The first one I caught was small. I thought, okay, maybe I'm onto something. The next one I caught was a 2.5 pounder, my biggest fish on day one. And I ended up catching another one about 2 pounds. So I called out a couple of my fish to get that 9.7. Almost surprised I didn't get at least one more decent bite. But I caught 2 more short ones in there. So I did catch 5 in there, but they were, you know, only 2 of them were wave fish. So I thought, okay, 9.7. Need me probably 13 something on day 2. Day 2, I went out there, actually caught a limit before I caught my first keeper on day 1. And I'm gonna have to grab my other bait out because the one that put the most fish in the boat, I didn't get it out yet. But here it is. We'll get this guy out right here. Throwing just a white chatterbait, 3/8 ounce with that 4.5 inch spunk shad in frosted purple. That was the deal on the morning. It was kind of just like slow and steady. I caught one on a swim bait with a little underspin on it. It was smaller, and then I caught one really small one on a drop shot in an area where I got a bump on the chatterbait but didn't catch it. I do shooter 18-pound on this setup, the Daiwa Tatula SVTW 7-to-1 reel, and I do the Cashin rods. It's in the CK series. It's called the Chattergrass rod. It's 7.4. It's a fast, medium heavy action. I'd put it more at moderate. I wouldn't call it fast action. I'd call it more like a moderate fast action. It bends throughout the rod. Just an absolute perfect rod for a chatterbait. Love, love, love that rod. And that 7.4, long enough to where you can make long casts and still get some wood on them when they bite it way out there, but short enough to where you can make really, really accurate casts. You can skip cast it pretty easily. So that's what I was using. I put, I think, 3 okay keepers in the boat, one on drop shot. So I had a limit. I think I called one with the chatterbait, but they were still small. So I had 7-something pounds on day 2. I said, yep, the only place I've got. So I tried a bunch of different stuff. I tried drop shotting, Carolina rigging, I threw a buzzbait a lot, never had a bite on it. And I did some flipping in the middle of the day. Nothing. I went for a couple hours without a bite. So I didn't have too much time left. I ran all the way up the river again on day 2. And I said, you know, I don't have time to mess around with the baby D-bomb. I just pulled out the regular D-bomb, put one in about 2.5 pounds, put one in the boat in the first 5 minutes. Knew I'd made the right decision. kept fishing down through there. It was kind of slow, but I knew I'd get a bite periodically. The second one was 1 3/4 pounds. I needed that fish, put that one in the boat. And then I kept fishing. In the last 5 minutes I had to fish up there, I caught a 3-pounder, maybe 3 1/4, on ye old D-bomb in the dill pickle. If you don't see the dill pickle on the Missile website, it's because it is a Pittman Creek, their big distributor. It is a Pittman Creek exclusive. So you'll find it at a lot of dealers, but you won't find it on the Missile Baits website. So just letting you know, if you don't see it somewhere, that's why. But man, almost made the cut. You like that? The cut. I almost made the cut again. These are the Spro scissors. I've been using these for the last 2 years. These things are awesome. I really, really like them. They stay sharp, and they're cool. I like the little cool green handle. But anyway, just a side note right there. But almost making the cut. It's kind of getting old. Just missing it again and again and again. I feel like I'm fishing well, but just not quite well enough, as they say. I need to step it up a little bit, maybe make some adjustments a little bit quicker, maybe make some adjustments in practice to get on some stuff a little bit quicker. But that's the name of the game. We're gonna not stop grinding. We got another event here coming up in a couple weeks down in Texas at Orange at the Sabine River. So stay tuned for that here, coming in about probably see another one of these videos in about a month, maybe a little sooner than that. But I appreciate everybody watching. If you have any questions on any of my equipment, or you're like, hey, fool, why didn't you try this? Man, drop it on down in there. Let's have some fun. Get into the comments, and I appreciate everybody watching.